Hey guys, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 215. My name is Leland and thank you so much for finding me. The movie I went and checked out today is this new romantic comedy with Justin Long and Drew Barrymore, Going the Distance. Interestingly, this movie is directed by Nanette Burstein, who I really know of as a documentary director. She directed the Robert Evans doc, The Kid Stays in the Pictures, and she also directed American Teen, a movie I actually outright despised a little bit. I felt that movie was as contrived as an episode of The Hills and failed to rise above my favorite episodes of MTV's Made. And that's not an insult. I love me some Made. But this new movie, Going the Distance, Justin Long, Drew Barrymore, who were a real-life couple when they shot the movie, I believe. So we get some of that great, real-life chemistry brought to the movie. But get this, on paper I was excited to see this movie for a couple reasons, because I thought the cast, the supporting cast especially, Justin Long and Drew Barrymore are two people that I can give or take. But we get Charlie Day, who I absolutely love on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Jason Sudeikis of SNL, who's terrific on 30 Rock, Christina Applegate, who I love. I saw her on Broadway in Sweet Charity, and you fell in love with her, and she was so terrific. So I was excited to check out this movie, because another movie earlier on this year, an R-rated romantic comedy that I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy, turned out to be She's Out of My League. And we all know how much I love that movie. Check it out on DVD. It's underrated. In this movie, you've got Justin Long and Drew Barrymore. One, a journalist, Drew Barrymore, who's working at the New York Times as an intern, and Justin Long works at he works in the record industry or something like that. They start striking up a relationship, and Drew Barrymore ends up having to move back to California to spend some time at Stanford, going to school, getting her master's degree. She's so intelligent. And they end up having to start, for one reason or other, a long-distance relationship, and a romantic comedy with a lot of F-bombs ensues. I'll say about Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis that I love what these guys do. I love the energy they bring to every single scene. I love the comedic timing that they bring. They bring an energy that this movie needs. And there's flashes of it throughout the movie. Jim Gaffigan, I think, has some really nice moments. Kristen Shaw of Flight of the Conchords makes a small cameo, and I think does what she can with what little material she's given. There's times where there are comedic actors in this movie really kind of elevating what I think is a really uninteresting romantic comedy. Thank Christ Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis were in this movie, because not much else in this movie was really working for me. If you were to ask me what is hard or why a long-distance relationship is gonna fail, I'd be like, well, because they'll probably start living separate lives where they're meeting different people, and it's not a real relationship, and it's just kind of slowly deteriorate, and they'll probably end up cheating on one another, or it never really ends well. And watching Going the Distance, really you see the relationship go through exactly just that, where they go to their separate sides of the country, and they kind of start growing apart, and now he's jealous because of this. And it's just really nothing you haven't seen before. And I spent a lot of the movie sitting there thinking, how old are these people? Drew Barrymore, she says her character's 31, but I'm pretty sure Drew Barrymore's older than that, because she was doing cocaine in 1984. So that didn't work for me. And Justin Long and Drew Barrymore are not great actors. They're not bad actors, but they are not leading material. Justin Long doesn't have what it takes. His face doesn't draw you in the way a leading actor really needs to. Watching The American, you look at fucking George Clooney and you're like, that guy's a fucking movie star. And I get why he's so famous, because he just, Robert Duvall, George Clooney, certain people really know how to use their face on film. And I don't think Drew Barrymore and Justin Long really do. They're just not up to snuff. There's also a good deal of raunchy humor that I don't think exactly flies. I think it feels a little bit too raunchy, and I think it made me I found Drew Barrymore's character, when she was being really raunchy, just being like, wow, you're really unappealing and kind of, you're the opposite of endearing to me. And then on top of all that, you sprinkle what I think is just a really shitty hipster tone to the entire thing. There's like all these sequences involving Drew Barrymore and Justin Long going to Box Rebellion shows and like just hanging out and smoking bong rips the first night they meet. And I just wanted to like kill myself. There is a cringeworthy montage set to The Cure that made me want to vomit into my hat. It just felt so shitty and so crappy, and I really just disliked this movie. I am gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. Because Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis do at times shine. And I love those guys and I love what they do. I hated the movie, but I love Charlie Day so much that I am going to give it a little bit of a pass. If you guys like this review, make sure to head over to nitpickit.com or dampercast.com. There will be a new episode of Dampercast out this Friday. I promise you. Maddie's coming over. Harrison might as well. So thank you guys in advance, and I'll see you guys next time.